Hello fish fools, Jeff here. And my cat Creature is here also. So this is a 20-gallon long aquarium. I first started setting this up maybe 2 months ago, but not with any, at the time, any intentions of like completing it, just to throw water in it, and kind of needed a place to unload some plants. So I got the Anacharis overgrowing in some of my other aquariums, so I took some out of them and put in here. But I do have plans for this. There are some Endlers in here. These are Guppy Endler hybrids. There's another here, and that one, little fry. And I put the Mopani wood in here. Ordinarily, or what I used to do when I had a Mopani wood, is I would boil it to try to release as much tannins as I could before adding it to the tank. But I've since grown to like tannins, and so with these two pieces I just rinse them only and then put them in here. So you can notice the water is tea color tinted. I like it like that. So what I've been doing with Mopani wood, any new aquariums or new Mopani wood that I put in a tank, I just let it be, let it release tannins, and then just eventually over time during water changes that gets diluted and any tannins ultimately go away. Yeah, so I set this tank up sort of as a dumping ground, and I do have plans for this. It is going to be a colony of these Guppy Endler hybrids. So these are lime green Endler and wild Guppy hybrids that originated in my 3.5 gallon tank. So this tank here, which is really crowded, I just need to upgrade these guys. So I'm gonna go from this 3.5 gallon to the 20 gallon, or you know, some of them will probably stay behind, but most of them. This was my original Corydoras shrimp tank going back several years, but yeah. So I'm going to move most of this colony over. So with the ones that are in here, they just, as I was doing a water change recently on the 3.5 gallon, I just put a few in here. At the time, just wanted to make sure it was only males, because I didn't want the population to, I don't want them to start breeding until I'm ready to move the group over. But there is the fry in here, I believe, is now a female, now that I can kind of tell what it was wherever it is. But there should be 3 adult males and 1 female there. I believe that is a female. And I just threw some snails in here. So there's a bladder snail right there. Ram's horn snail. Even just the few snails that are in here, the ram's horn snail shells are looking good compared to my other aquariums where there's lots of snails, and just from the large populations of them, I believe that hogs up the calcium or whatever in the water, and their shells don't grow as good. There's too many snails, but in here, not that many right now. They're looking good. And so there's no substrate in here, and that's what I was gonna talk about. But this has this is the first of the Aqua Duo filters that I set up. So I bought a case of those, and I haven't really talked about them since. I did show an unboxing video when I bought the case, but that is one of these. So these are a dual purpose aquaponics filter. I'll talk more about that later when I get more involved with them. But yeah, so I will be soon getting this tank ready. So this will be the substrate that I'm going to put in it. So we got white sand here. This is going to be my first time trying white substrate. So I just got this at Petco recently. Almost all the aquarium products that I get, I do unboxing or aquarium haul videos. That time I didn't. But while I was at Petco, I got some because I had to get there. I had to go to get tearless kitten shampoo for the foster kittens to give them baths. While I was there, I got that. And this, in this box, this is from Doctors Foster and Smith. Got this. There was years ago, one of the unboxing videos. I'm sure I showed that. I don't remember, but at the time I just got some. It was like on clearance, so some white gravel. So I'll probably just finally use this in the white sand. So really, what I was thinking, just from watching another YouTube channel, MadCat61207, like seeing his tanks and enjoying those, he'd having like white sand substrate. I like the looks of it, so I want to give that a try. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. And if you're not familiar, he is awesome at breeding Corydoras, and I like watching his tanks. Yeah, so you can check it out if you're interested in that. Yeah, so this will be the second time I'll be adding substrate to a tank that's already set up that doesn't already have substrate in it with water in it. Going back years ago, one of my tanks, the Ocho, my 8th aquarium, I mean I have like 20 now, but that at the time was supposed to be a quarantine tank that was intended to not have substrate, but then I eventually converted into a regular tank and added substrate in it. So yeah, I will just add substrate into it while there's water in it, so we'll see how that goes. I actually did do that on my 40-gallon too when I moved, and I converted my 30-gallon to my 40-gallon. But anyway, yeah, so it's going to be white substrate. So the Corydoras from, the Guppy on the hybrids from the 3.5-gallon going here, along with the plan is Corydoras. So I might, with white substrate, I'm kind of thinking like some type of Corydoras that, like white Corydoras, even though white on white would kind of blend in, but it won't be albino Corydoras because I don't like albinos, and those are really just the same species as bronze Corydoras. But what I might do is get adolfis Corydoras. I have like a white base, and I've never had those, kept those before. That could be a possibility. Or I could move the false bandit Corydoras in here. I'll show you those. So this is one of my 40-gallon community tanks, and these are the false bandit Corydoras, or melinis Corydoras. So I have a group of them in here. That is a possibility, I might move those to the 20-gallon. And that's because this is the only aquarium that I have that has 2 different species of Corydoras. So this also has some of the red or orange Venezuelan Corydoras. There's only 2 in here. If they are even the same species, there's one, the last of the group that I got from a Petco, sold as red sailfin Corydoras. That could be it. And the other was the one only surviving Corydoras from a group that I got from Aquahuna back then, sold as orange Venezuelan Corydoras. I mean, they look the same, so what I may do, if that is the if I decide to go with these melanite Corydoras in the 20-gallon, I would get another group of orange Venezuelan. I might get some more from Aquahuna again, so to get a decent sized group of Corydoras in here to join those 2, and that way I just move these to the 20-gallon, or I could still just get the adolfis. Maybe. Alright, there's a good look at a ram's horn right there. nice and glossy, good looking shell, a pink ram's horn. And somewhere in here there's at least one Neocaridina shrimp. I know I saw it a couple days ago. That was one that came out of the 3.5 gallon. Yeah, so the plan for this is to add white substrate. Oh yeah, also I got these white rocks. I just got this from a 99-cent store, even though it's $1.99. So the white substrate, white sand, white gravel. Maybe I'll do like the gravel in the back and the front, the white substrate, or a mix of it. And a pile of rocks. And move the colony of Guppy hybrids and get some Corydoras in here. And that would be probably at a minimum. I may end up putting some more fish of some kind in here. But yeah, I mean, I'll just let that evolve as it goes. So yeah, that's what's up with that. But before I do that, I do still need to move some fish out of quarantine to my other 40 gallon, and then that'll be the last group of fish to move. So here's my 10 gallon quarantine tank. So the neon tetras and the platies that are in here. There's 3 adults as a pair, a male and a female of the green lanterns, and then this female. And there's a few that were born in here. I just saw a tiny fry earlier, and there's maybe about a 3 or 4 week old offspring of the green lanterns, I believe, and then there's one that's probably like 2 months old, offspring of the platies from the previous group. Yeah. And then also the lone white cloud, gonna move that to the 5.5 gallon. Figure out a place for the Siamese algae eater, and in here there's also the red-eye tetra that's gonna stay in here. That's the permanent resident. And then once I move all those out, I can get new fish again with the quarantine tank empty. So I kind of have some things in mind for that, but we'll figure that out as it happens in the future. But yeah, so that's what's up. That's what's going on. So next, I'll be likely tonight. I'm gonna do one more water change on the tank that they're going to, the 40 gallon, and then upon doing so, I will move those fish into it. So that's coming up. So stay tuned for that. All right, and that's it for now. And remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies. Thanks for watching.